Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is your Modern Tech Breakdown. Today I'm looking at a new technique deployed by hackers to cover their tracks. Let's jump into it. So here's a story from The Register covering an advisory from the US Cybersecurity Infrastructure Agency about something called Fast Flux. Let's go through what Fast Flux is, what purpose it serves, and how it can be mitigated. So what is Fast Flux? The good news is that it's not a new intrusion method. It's a DNS technique that allows hackers to obfuscate their communications between their command and control servers by quickly manipulating DNS records. So real quick, for the less technical viewers, DNS, or the domain name system, is an internet system that allows for the conversion of a domain name like google.com to an IP address that your computer can use to actually make a connection with the server. Normally, these records don't change all that often. For example, people providing services on the internet don't often change the IP address of where their website is hosted, just as an example. But hackers are starting to use this system to hide their tracks, and Fast Flux is a technique to quickly change the IP address in DNS records in order to make it more difficult to track down where the bad guys' servers are located. It also makes it harder to blacklist IP addresses that are known to be used by malware and hackers. Typically, malware connects to command and control servers to exfiltrate data and get instructions on what to do next. And the malware will typically rely on the DNS system to make these connections. Fast Flux is a method that the bad guys have started using to create a game of whack-a-mole with the folks trying to stop them. And unfortunately, there's multiple flavors of Fast Flux. There's single flux and double flux. Single flux is basically what I just described. Double Flux goes even a step further and actually changes the authoritative name servers that enable the DNS system for a given domain, which has the same effect of creating a more challenging game of whack-a-mole. So to reiterate, Fast Flux isn't a new intrusion method, it's merely a technique to cover your tracks after an intrusion. But let's talk about how to mitigate this from working in your environment. The first solution that may come to mind is filtering DNS records for known bad domains. That's not a bad idea. However, unfortunately, there are tons of bad domains, new ones created every day, and most malware includes multiple domains that it will try to access for command and control. So domain filtering DNS requests could help, but it's probably not enough on its own. Second, if you've ever moved a server, you'll be familiar with the TTL, or time to live, setting on a DNS record. This field basically tells the DNS system how long it can cache the DNS record. And as you might guess, if you're running Fast Flux, you would need to set the TTL to a very small time period, maybe a minute or two. Unfortunately, half the internet has already set a TTL of less than a minute. So filtering DNS requests based on a short TTL is probably not really all that feasible. And given all these issues, the recommendation is to tightly control your DNS within your environment and implement services that provide protective DNS services. Obviously, recommending a costly paid service is rather unfortunate and not feasible for many environments, but the bottom line is that vigilance at the DNS level is what would be required to mitigate Fast Flux, and you can either do that yourself internally or you can outsource it to a third party. Or, I have to mention, you can choose to do nothing about it. If you can keep your environment clear of malware, you won't have any machines trying to contact these sketchy domains, and Fast Flux won't be a problem for you. At the end of the day, everyone has to make their own decision on stuff like this, but at least now you're armed with a little bit more knowledge on what Fast Flux is. But that's about all I have to say on this topic for today. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you next time.